Prison does not correlate to crime nearly so much as it correlates to poverty. There is a magical shrinking number that funnels down smaller and more precise through each filter. Crimes committed, predicted, reported, investigated, arrested, arraigned, charged, convicted, sentenced, incarcerated. Every filter spills out certain people and narrows in on others until your funnel comes to a needle point sticking into the black veins of zip code 53206, and you are putting into chains the people that you have always put into chains. That's reality. Everybody does crimes, only some go down for it. No trials, no lawyers, no rights, just bloodthirsty cops, saturation targeting neighborhoods, punishing broken windows, spinning a merry-go-round of trauma, and kidnap parents until their paranoid vision bleeds all over reality. There are two sides to every prison. One of them runs on pepper spray and razor wire. The other on hopelessness, poverty, and addiction. Almost nobody gets out. They just churn black and brown bodies between the two. But most of the criminals, the ones who look like me, we're out here walking around free. So we need to stop thinking of prison as what America does with criminals, and instead recognize that prison is what America does to poor people. Prison runs on slavery and torture. Can't run no other way. So if you hate those things and you don't hate prison, then you don't know what you're talking about. Prisoners are forced to work. That is nothing but slavery. You want the legal explanation? Read Amendment number 13. You want the dictionary definition? A person wholly subject to another. The mathematics? Wages range from 95 cents to 0.00. How about a mental image? Mississippi and Texas. Black men dressed in white, backs bent under the supervision of an overseer on a horse with a shotgun. They are picking cotton. Still doubt me? I can get you through on a contraband cell phone with a man who has spent 2.5 years in a concrete box for refusing to be a slave in Alabama today. You will believe him. Torture. Painful and inhumane punishments to terrorize a subject into compliance with their captor's wishes. I've got stories about solitary confinement, about electroshock belts worn on the witness stand, about pepper spray in the confined space of a man's anus, about restraint chairs hanging bodies, suicide cells, beatings, about metal-clad sweat boxes and starvation rations, about coming off your 1 hour a day on rec to find your only picture of grandma floating in pieces in the toilet. Or you could just believe me. Prisons run on torture. Abolition, though, you may ask? I mean, how about reform? A kinder, gentler prison? Well, come along, my liberal friend, I welcome you to the fray. Because, yes, wardens are vicious, small-minded, arrogant bastards. But that's not why they need slavery and torture. They need these things to run the machine. Forcing someone to work or to get in line, that's not about malice or bigotry so much as it is the cost-effective, budget-conscious administration of a correctional facility. So let's say you reform the prison, a project that's been worked on with disastrous results ever since the very first one was built, by the way, but let's say that you pull it off this time. This time, you take away the slavery and the torture tools, and you install education and due process, all of that beautiful shit. And guess what? The cost of incarceration, already higher than a college tuition, skyrockets, until even the most ignorant of vengeful fascistic shitbags can't afford or justify the expense any longer. The end result is prison abolition. Thank you for your time. The first question you're already thinking probably is, abolish prison and replace it with what? And I could tell you. I could tell you about talking circles, about restorative justice, about the vast majority of human existence on this planet. But then you'll call me a dreamer. You'll say that that's unrealistic. And then I'll have to tell you that we don't need perfection. Our alternative doesn't even need to work all that well. We could replace prison with any dream at all, and it would still be better than the present total fucking nightmare. and it would still be worth doing because prison is the glue that holds America together. By working to abolish prison, we also destabilize the American social order generally, which is founded on white supremacy, slavery, and genocide, which is the world's greatest polluter and resource consumer, which most often engages in terroristic violent interventions around the world, and holds all the planet hostage to the largest, most devastating military arsenal our vast and strange apocalyptic imaginations could come up with, and which functions as the siege engine of capitalism, a destructive and exploitative economic boondoggle the likes of which humanity has never before subjected itself to. So, if you get on board with the earnest and compassionate pursuit of racial and class justice in America today via the abolition of the U.S. prison system, you will learn the joys of fucking up all the rest of that shit.